Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, secrets to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine game. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes your talk of the town. And we're live tonight. The music starts playing. It's time for cabareting on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday evening to you. But first, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. We've got over 700 subscribers now on our YouTube channel. Thank you. Now, if you aren't one of them, make sure you go on there and hit that subscribe button. All right. Now, what do Nancy Pelosi's tatas, a cock-blocking Florida man, and my broken heart have in common? They're all featured in tonight's headlines. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is just like us. She likes to mix work with play. Recently, she combined a mission of speaking to foreign ambassadors in Rome with a visit to see Pope Francis, where she received Holy Communion. What shocked many people was that San Francisco Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone has said he will no longer allow her to receive the sacrament because of her support for abortion. Scandalous! Now, during the Mass, Francis also bestowed the woolen pallium stole on newly consecrated archbishops. A drag show! Fabulous! Nancy eating the body of Christ isn't the only scandalous thing about her trip abroad. She was spotted along with her husband at the ritzy resort on the Italian seaside owned by legendary tenor Andrea Bocelli. So what's so scandalous about that? Well, at the age of 82, Nancy decided to take a stroll along the beach, and this shocked, I tell you, old Tucker Carlson at Fox. He showed the picture and said, "Soak it in, ladies and gentlemen," he said sarcastically, exposing his little boy fascination with an older woman's cleavage. "Close your eyes as you try to go to sleep tonight and try to get that image out of your head, if you can." Hey, Nance, if you got it, flaunt it. And you've definitely got it, or should I say, them. Now, what would you do if your neighbor's pet rooster attacked you? Well, Florida man claims self-defense, as we can see in this news report.
They come arrested me last Thursday. They were here.
I lose them to animals, but I was not expecting them to lose them to my neighbor. That was like my friend.
Neighbors in a fight over a dead rooster, and one of them facing a felony charge.
Yeah, the 2 neighbors say they will not come to an agreement, but no matter what, it ended with one of them spending 30 hours inside the jail on an animal cruelty charge he says he disagrees with.
I didn't know to give it a 21-gun salute, CPR, mouth to mouth, or call the chicken ambulance.
Big Roo was Jason Day Felice's pet rooster. That is until James Nix hit it with a stick.
So I'm defending myself. I was feared for my safety, and the chicken, died.
Nick says the rooster attacked people.
I have not heard that, because I know the neighbor here. I know him. Like, we're friends. He never said anything to me about it.
I did tell him, after the chicken hit my dad, I said, "Hey, man, the chicken attacked my dad." "Oh, what's the deal? It's just a chicken. What's he going to do?" Okay, well, look.
The neighbors even disagree on how others saw Big Roo.
The kids that used to live over there, they were throwing rocks and sticks at this chicken to keep it away.
I know the kids down here, they played with the rooster a little bit, like would throw rocks at it and chase it.
So one day when Nick says the rooster followed him and attacked him,
His neck flares up, And he's doing his thing, and he's trying to jump up at me.
He was trying to get the animal away.
And I try to hit it, but the chicken's jumping up at me, and I accidentally knocked it in the head. You know, call it a lucky shot, whatever.
But when Dave Felice came home, all he saw was his rooster dead in a ditch.
I said, I'm calling JSO. I called JSO. JSO didn't do nothing. Then a couple of days later, I realized I could call animal control.
And in late June, James Nix went to jail for animal cruelty.
Next thing you know, he calls the chicken police on me.
While the neighbors continue the fight, Nix says he never should have been arrested.
Chickens are dying every day, people, at churches, Popeyes, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Really.
Oh, Florida man, you never disappoint. And now for a sad Amber Live update. Two-time guest, Pennsylvania former state representative Brian Sims, who was recently defeated in his run for the Democratic nominee for his state's lieutenant governor, has a new boyfriend. Sigh. Brian posted on his Facebook a picture of he and Alex Draco stating that they were indeed in love. Oh, Brian, how could you break my heart like that? I guess I'll take the high road and wish them the best of luck. But Brian, in case it doesn't work out, call me. And that's this week's headlines. Oh, Brian, I'll drown my sorrows by talking with Russell. Russell, come on in.
Oh, so I'm only second guest, huh?
Well, I bet you we're going to see him in P-Town, so maybe I can catch some moments alone with him in P-Town in August.
There you go. There you go. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Oh, I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. All right, Russell. We've got some new viewers
I
tonight.
just been catching some time with him.
Yeah. All right, Russell. We've got some new viewers. Tell them the best way to watch Amber Live.
Well, the best way to watch Amber Live is always on YouTube, and that's because on YouTube we are in full HD, and you can see us at youtube.com/Amber Live. But you can watch on Facebook, you can watch on TikTok and Twitter. There are lots of places to catch us. And I do want to remind you that we've got a great TikTok channel on Instagram, Facebook, and even our website where there's all kinds of different media you can catch. And if you can't watch us live or watch us on YouTube, say you're out driving and you just want to listen in, look up the Amber Live interviews, which is our shows turned into podcasts. So you can listen to Amber anytime you'd like when you can't watch her as well. So there's lots of Amber out there.
Yeah, you don't have to look at me. You can just hear me. It's up to you. It's up to you.
It is.
All right, Russell, how can people help us? People are saying, how can we help?
How can they help? Well, the best way to help is by becoming one of our bustiers, and we love our bustiers. You see the whole list of them there, and you can see that you can use Venmo to join the bustiers. Use the @RJD Pro on Venmo, or if you go to amberlive.tv, our website, there's a button that says Support Amber Live, and you can use a credit card there and help us out. And any amount is welcome, but if you give $25 or more, I will send you a sticker of the logo. If you give $100 or more, you get a sticker and a magnet of the logo so you can show all your friends that you support us. And if you give $200 or more, you get a sticker, a magnet, and a beautiful Amber Live mug. And remember, that's the Venmo @RJD Pro. And you see our list of the great bustiers that have all helped us out there. And we really do appreciate them because they're the people that help keep this show going, because there are expenses. And not just vodka. There's software, there's equipment, there's a lot of stuff that we do to make it all happen.
So thank you so much. It's great to see that list of names. Many of them are past guests. They had such a good time that they want to keep the show going. Some are old friends. And then there's others. I see someone from California, from Florida, of course, Vermont, all over the country, people writing into Amber Live. So thank you. All right, Russell. So tell us who's on the show tonight.
Our show tonight is two great guests. The first has actually been on the show before, and that is Owen Keehnen, who is an author and has written some amazing books that are out there that you can find just by searching him out. And he has a new project that he'd like to talk about in Chicago that he's working on some writing about. But that is the brand new Chicago AIDS Garden, which opened up in June and is really a lovely looking place and looks like a great project. And Owen's here to tell us all about that. And then we have a ASCAP Plus Award winning musician, Patricia Silverberg, who will be joining us to tell us all about her music. And I believe she lives in Arizona. So we're going to be talking to her long distance, but you know that thanks to the internet, we can do that. And that's how we get our great guests.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, I think it's going to be a great show, Russell. So I'll talk to you later.
All right. Have fun.
Our first guest tonight is sort of an Amber Live update. We first met Owen back in February. He's a gay historian of Chicago who has fascinating stories of life in Chicago back in the 60s and 70s. And there's another chapter going on right now, and he's here to share it with us. Come on in, Owen.
Hi, thank you for having me back.
Oh, my goodness, it's always good to see you. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Tell us about the AIDS Garden.
Sure. Well, last time I was on, we talked about the Belmont Rocks.
Yes.
So in an area, a 2.5 acre area adjacent to where the Belmont Rocks were, on June 2nd was the official ribbon cutting. And
all right, remind us again what the Belmont Rocks, what significance that has.
From the early 60s until their demolition in 2003, the Belmont Rocks were a place where Chicago's LGBT community could be themselves. They could have fun. They could hang out and be LGBTQ in the middle of the city in the sunlight at a time when our bars still had darkened windows. So the empowerment that went along with a place like the Belmont Rocks that wasn't south of the city, or it wasn't an island off Chicago, it was right in the middle of town. So it had a hugely significant impact in the building of community and the bonding of a lot of the folks here. So on June 2nd, adjacent to where the Belmont Rocks were, was the ribbon cutting for AIDS Garden Chicago. And it's this beautiful 2.5 acre park right on the lakefront in the area just adjacent to where the Belmont Rocks were. And it already features the 30-foot tall Keith Haring sculpture, self-portrait. And the great thing about the Keith Haring sculpture is that it's going to be visible from Lakeshore Drive. And having it visible from Lakeshore Drive to me, it just highlights the whole fact that we're here and we're not going anywhere, especially in an era of don't say gay, and we're being vaguely, not anymore, threatened with having to go back in the closet and all sorts of other ridiculous things. This is coming at this time. This is a real important statement of not only our past, but also our story and the significance of our story in part of a bigger story. So the efforts to erase our history go much deeper than just don't say gay. That's trying to erase an entire voice, that took so long to be vocalized. So
all right, there's the Keith Haring statue, and there's it's a garden, so there's flowers. I'm sure.
Yes, the plantings are just getting started. Really, all that is going in this year. There's going to be a ginkgo grove, which are all male ginkgo trees, so it won't be the scented ginkgos. There is
what's the significance of ginkgo? I love the ginkgo trees, but what's the significance for this plant?
For this, I think that it was just the beauty. I'm not sure of this thing. It's become also the logo of the park. So the nice thing about that too is it provides a lot of there's a lot of contemplative space there. there's a lot of the original limestone slabs that were part of the Belmont Rocks, repurposed as sort of seating areas in the park.
If those rocks could scream.
It's the beautiful thing about this is, it's sad that the Belmont Rocks are gone, but this is repurposing their significance and their importance to the community in a way that just heightens the importance of queer space even more. And it just, it really feels like the proper ending of a story. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
AIDS Garden Chicago is just so it's not a memorial garden. It's also dedicated to those who were healthcare providers and those who were caregivers and those who continue to struggle with HIV and those who continue to work in the healthcare profession and continue to serve populations. It's become like this it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And it's so heartwarming. It was probably like 2 weeks after it had been open, and it was a nice sunny day. And it was just, I was kind of going by on Lakeshore Drive, and to just be able to look over and see people enjoying it for whatever reason, that's what it's all about. And to have it at a place where the LGBTQ community had so many great memories. I mean, for memories from the AIDS era, they weren't memories of a hospital or fluorescent lighting. This is a place where people gathered and had fun. And those moments are so significant, especially when dealing with loss, because those are the moments that over time that really are significant to remember. And those are the moments that make an impact, not the loss, but maybe like the loss of potential,
Yes.
And just
you captured the feeling of the Rocks so well in your voice, Sirens of the Belmont Rocks.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful short play that is, I said earlier, it's like poetry. It's just, I love the delivery. Explain the basis of the play or the structure of the play.
Sure. Well, actually, the main thing that came out of the Belmont Rocks were these enormous limestone slabs. Okay, that's what the rocks were composed of. So to dramatize the rocks, a lot of times they weren't connected like that. They were more disjointed. So it almost had its own sort of Greek chorus feel to it, because there were all these different levels of places where almost little stages where people could interact. And I wanted to, I didn't want to capture anything specific about the Belmont Rocks. I wanted to capture voices of the Belmont Rocks that would have the effect of sort of waves coming against the Belmont Rocks. So it's not so much an extended conversation as sort of different movements coming back and forth. And just the, that eternal feel is what I wanted to capture about place. And, when I think back about the Belmont Rocks too, that whole Greek tragedy theme really lent itself well to the subject matter too, in looking back, because it is a tragedy, and it was a tragedy a lot of times that just, well, clearly, yes, anyway, just something that, that for me, the best way to dramatize it was that way. I think if I had to dramatize it in any way that was more interactive, I think it would have been maybe too emotionally difficult, really. I'd
love to see a staged reading of it. That I think that would just
I would. I wrote it during COVID, so.
Yeah. Oh, but it's very funny. There are some funny, bitchy, catty lines that, yes, gay men do talk that way. And but there's also some soul searching and some. It's just a beautifully written piece, and thank you for sharing that with me. With us.
Oh, sure. And I think I was going back to that too. One of the things that I wanted to capture, not only with that, but with the Belmont Rocks work in general, was that I resented the fact that when we look at LGBTQ history, it tends to be like Stonewall, AIDS, gay marriage, now. So to me, it always seemed like you were standing on a shoreline and just skipping a stone, and the stone was just going like boom, 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 right across our whole history. And it's those things that make the rock skip. Yeah, they're important, but they're not the water that it's skipping over. There's a whole lake underneath that, and such a richness of everything. And the fact that AIDS was a horrible disease, but not only that, but it had a very personal face, but it wasn't also completely tragic in that way. It was also incredibly full of the darkest comedy imaginable. It was a lot of things, and I kind of think it's important to show the complexity of our history, instead of maybe making us more into a simplified version of a very complex story.
Next week, we're going to delve into more Chicago history when we talk to Tracy Baim, who was the founder of the Windy City Times, and she worked with the Chicago Reader and has been there since the 70s,
yes.
Capturing a lot of the gay history. So I'm looking forward to that interview. So, Owen, what do you plan on, or what do you see the future of the AIDS Garden?
I think a lot of it is going to be, there's going to be different social events. Someone talked to me about having a community art lesson out there, which just stuff like that, which I would, everything I've heard is very community based, which for me is very consistent with what the Rocks were. It's very consistent with the reason we survived AIDS is because we all came together as a community. So to continue that is a beautiful thing. And I love the fact that it's going out and being someplace together rather than communicating, simply cyberly or whatever via the internet. Sorry, it sounded really old.
Thank you so much, Owen, for sharing the AIDS Garden with us and more of the history of gay life in Chicago. It's good to see you. We're going to talk again soon, I know.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Owen. During the interview, I asked, why the ginkgo? Why is that the symbol of the park? Well, he didn't know right then, but my crack staff researched it and found out ginkgo is a sign of integrity and strength. And that's why they use it as their logo. Thank you, staff. All right, Russell, come back in.
Hey, Amber, great interview. Oh, he's so interesting. He's always got
my God
information.
We're going to have him on again in a couple of weeks to talk about some of his other projects. The man is fascinating, and he's talked to almost everybody in the world.
Yes.
Oh my! But very nice. I'm happy that he shares his history with us. All right.
Yes, and that is sort of one thing that I get that he seems to love doing is capturing that history and getting it out there, and it's so important. And he does a wonderful job.
Yeah, he's working on another book that we'll be talking about in a couple of weeks. So, Russell, you had something else to say?
Of course, we have more to come in this show. We've got a great interview with Patricia Silverberg coming up, and we've got our visit from Rocco, as always. We can't miss Rocco, and it just, the fun never ends, and what keeps us going is our bustiers. I do want to do a little shout out to them again. Don't forget, you can use the Venmo at RJD Pro to help out the bustiers, or go to amberlive.tv and use the support Amber Live button. And thank you to all our bustiers. And of course, there is one other way that you can help us out, and that's by visiting one of our sponsors.
Summertime, and it's time for vacation. Vacation. Where would I want to go? I know. I think I'd like to go to the beach. Don't worry, I'm bringing my vodka with me. Oh, wow. If I'm going to the beach, you know what? I'm going to need some beach towels. Where can I get some quality beach towels? Oh, I know. AmberLive.tv. There's a bunch of collection of really nice towels. And, how about some T-shirts and some muscle shirts? Those would look nice on the beach. And let's see. If it gets cool at night at the clam bake, what am I going to wear? I better take along my Amber Live TV sweatshirt. Yes, that would be fun to wear. And then at night, at night, I don't have to order anything because I already have my Amber Live TV pillow. Oh, so soft. You're going to love it. And then the next morning, what are you going to need? You're going to need an Amber Live mug to drink your coffee or whatever you want to put in it. And if you haven't gotten enough peen lately, check out our Rusty Peen collection. Everyone wants more peen. All this and more is available at amberlive.tv. Order yours today. I'm looking forward to talking to our next guest, Patricia Silverberg. She's a songwriter and an award winner. So come on in, Patricia.
Howdy.
Hello there, Patricia. Oh my gosh, I love your music. So I'm just thrilled to talk to you. So tell us where you grew up and how your interest in music developed.
Well, I grew up in New York City, in what you would call the inner city. It's kind of crazy and violent and weird. And so my escape was to play instruments. I started teaching myself how to play guitar when I was about 5. And then I played some drums. And then the public schools back then actually had good systems. So I learned how to read music and music theory and classical guitar and just really stuck with it. And, I got a theater degree from Pace University in New York, and that helped. And it's just like a passion. It's like you focus in on it, and you feel that feeling when you're just in the moment and alive and you're supposed to be doing that. So, it was a lot of escapism in a way, but a positive escapism by learning something and creating something and keeping your mind occupied and your body with your fingers and all that.
Tell me about the first song that you wrote.
Oh my God, as a kid, I can't remember. It was probably like a little goofy, like, hello, how are you, kind of thing. I used to watch Sesame Street a lot. I do remember in junior high when my life got pretty rough, I wrote things about more about the not the external environment in terms of like the sun and the moons, but more of the violence in my neighborhood and how it's not cool and I want to escape all that and there must be another way. Kind of like that old Animals song, we gotta get out of this place.
When did you start performing in front of an audience?
That is a very interesting story. It started happening up in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is a little town up by the Grand Canyon. And I started performing around 2003. And it's a really positive experience. I came out to the entire community at the Pride at the Pine stage. I was like still coming out and still performing and going to grad school and all these changes. And there I was on the stage saying to the whole world, hello, here I am. And then it just kind of went from there. I got a bunch of local gigs there. And then I had to come down to Phoenix when I finished school and started gigging here, playing like bookstores and coffee shops. And then just evolving with the recordings, getting radio play and like this and doing things like this. But yeah.
What took you to Arizona? How'd you get from New York to Arizona? What
I got a full scholarship to Arizona State University with a fellowship. They have to bribe people to come here. It's so weird, but it's just like, I'm sorry. I'm sure you read the news. It's still like, what am I doing here? Because, I used to do shows in the Village and stuff. Like my first show that I stage managed was for Stonewall Repertory way back in the 80s. So it takes me 2003 in Phoenix to come out, or Arizona. But yeah, that's why I'm here. And to get away from my bad background and craziness.
Yes. So you created, you had a CD. When was your first CD created?
The first CD was when I first came down to Phoenix from Flag. It's more of a studio, like a demo. It's had 9 original songs, kind of bare bones, guitar, some piano. And then Natalie Merchant was nice enough to give me mechanical royalties to her songs and help me out with that. And then, as I learned more about recording and adding instruments, and I put out the CD that came out in 2012. And then it takes me a long time to write a song because I just work it and massage it and try to make it the best as I can. And then the next one just came out in the fall. So it's been a process of growing.
That CD from 2012, you got some notoriety, some recognition, didn't it?
Yes. I won the ASCAP Plus Awards, which is amazing. Just telling me I'm on the right track because I was able to get things on like radio stations and podcasts and college stations, NPR type stations, and performing. And it was, really about, hey, recognition that you're on the right track. So it's a really nice thing.
We have a song now. What song did you want us to play? What was that one?
Always There, which I actually wrote when I originally still lived in New York a long, long time ago. And then it was fancy because that's fancy, like classical guitar. But then I standardized to be more of a folk song and more relatable. And I think everyone can relate to it. It's just about missing someone you really love and care about. And the video itself is multicultural. So I try to be inclusive of everybody, including cats. There's pictures of cats.
All right, Russell, let's run that video.
Love is love, right?
You were the one who was strong when life had all gone wrong. You understood how I feel. I knew the words I would hear. You are always there with time to share. You are always there with time to care. You were there to hold my hand, someone who would understand, free to lend me an ear and take away the pain and fear. You are always there with time to share. You are always there with time to care. Times change and you had to leave. One day I knew it would be so. Still I just can't believe why you had to go.
Well, how pretty. Now, the making of that video, how much say did you have in the creation of the video?
I did all of it. I actually used this service that anyone could use called Rotor, but I took the time to customize it, pick all the pictures and sync it to the lyrics to try to make sense, and hopefully there's a storyline coming through. So I spent several days trying to get it right, and I made maybe 17 versions until I was happy with it.
You talked earlier about spending time massaging your songs and things. Are you a full-time singer-songwriter, or do you have to have some other gigs?
I have a day job.
And what's your day job?
I am a technical writer and instructional designer for my local city government, which is nonpartisan. Everyone's like, oh, you can work for the government, but I really like it. And I create basically tutorials for their online systems. It's challenging, but the people are wonderful and great, very accepting, and everyone works as a team. And I get to work from home with my kitty, so I'm happy. I create things. That's the important part. I get to create things.
Sure. How often are you performing these days?
A little bit less. Here in Arizona, as you may know, is conservative, and not a lot of venues for original music. It's gotten worse since COVID lockdown thingy. People just want more like the live music kind of things, and lots of cover songs. And so I'm very happy that, people back east still believe in real music. And then, so I'm doing less and just trying to get more stuff out there. Like I want to make a couple more videos and get hopefully more radio play and write and, just kind of make it grow a little bit more beyond just Phoenix.
But you also do cover songs as well. I'm sorry?
Not very many. Very selective.
Right. But you did do one that I really like. And Russell, can we play a little bit of the Midnight Special, please?
Well, you wake up in the morning, you hear that big bell ring, go marching to the table, it's the same damn thing. Well, there's one on the table, a knife, a fork, nothing to pan. Say anything about it, you're in trouble with the man. Let the midnight special shine its light on me. Let that midnight special shine its light on me.
I love that song, and you do it so well. Thank you. What would you like to be doing? If you had your dream, someone said, Patricia, you can do anything you want. What would you like to do?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would still want to work with my music, and I love to draw and doodle. One of my degrees is in children's lit, so I want to also expand into some drawing and writing. That's one of the videos I'm going to do. I have a little happy lullaby at the end of my CD, and I'm planning to draw the little video. So things where I could create and express myself. So.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. You said Natalie Merchant gave you some assistance. Have you worked with any other stars?
Not directly. There are people I can relate to, like Suzanne Vega, who actually has a similar background as mine, and we actually have similar degrees. So I've reached out to her, and that's been wonderful. I think that's kind of it. I've run into people here and there, and I make a joke that back in New York, I used to do shows with Kevin Bacon's bass player, so I'm twice removed from Kevin Bacon. So now you're three Kevin Bacon.
So that means I'm three
Yes.
removed from him.
Yes.
How would you describe your music?
That is interesting. I want to say it's authentic. As you may know, today's music tends to be very shallow and repetitive, and there's not a lot of real instruments, and there's not a lot, in my opinion, a lot of craft to it. There's craft in their own way. I want to say mine is more organic and real and based on feelings and perceptions, and I hope can be related to by most people. I try to be diverse and accomplish people, and not exclude others. So I would say organic, real, and personable. Personal.
Cool.
Yeah.
You just completed a new CD you talked about, and we have a part of that. Tell us about this song we're going to hear.
Gift of Pure Light. Okay. Well, when I was in Flagstaff, I was coming out, as I said, and I wrote this song. I didn't get on my other albums because I was still kind of nervous about the song, and it's really about just seeing the beauty in another person, really seeing that soul. When I introduced it at shows, I talk about how when we're little kids, like we love everybody, like on Sesame Street, we love the mailman, we love Mr. Hooper, we love Big Bird. And then we get old and jaded and we lose that spark. Yeah. So it's about seeing that spark in there and someone showing you the spark that you had and to regain that spark.
Okay, Russell, let's listen to it.
With kindness and love, with acceptance and grace, you are the gift of pure light, of being straight from the sun.
Is that you playing the flute?
You bring me love, you bring me life.
I didn't hear your answer about the flute.
Oh, it's a very talented musician called Ian Goff. He's based in Los Angeles. He's a friend of a good friend. Very talented. He's also very sensitive, likes to express himself, so he's a good person to work with. Yeah.
Where did you record the song?
Here in right in the Phoenix area, in Gilbert, Arizona, it's called Green World Studios. And I picked mostly local musicians who are trained. The cellist is classical cellist. She plays the bass and does some vocals, and then who else is on it? Lots of people are on it, but they had to know how to read music and theory and work with people. My other songs, my other things, I had problems where people just wanted to show off and be Pete Townsend. I'm like, no, you gotta work with me. So I've learned a lot and was very picky. And I couldn't find a flute player, so I found someone through a great friend and, personal referrals. So.
Very cool. So let's show the address where people can pick up some of Patricia's music. There it is. That's her website. Go on there. You'll see a whole bunch of information about Patricia, and you can listen to her music. Thank you so much, Patricia. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Keep writing those songs.
I will. Thank you so much, Amber. And I just love your energy and your warmth, and I'm very honored to be part of this show. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you.
I want you to be my
much.
hand, and we could go out for coffee and tea and crumpets and stuff.
Let's go. Let's go.
Right.
Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you. All right. Wasn't that fun? I love meeting new people and finding out what motivates them and their histories. Oh, thank you so much, Patricia. And there's someone else that has a pretty interesting past, too. I don't want to know all of it, but I'm sure he's going to tell us something tonight. Come on in, Rocco.
Hey, guys, it's me, Rocco. You're probably saying, like, where the hell you been? I've been around, doing things, but I've been busy. So I've been a little MIA here and there, and I've been doing things, a little half-assed lately. Like this. This video is bullshit as far as I'm concerned. I'm hiding out in the bathroom at work because they got me working like a crazy man. And let me tell you, reading poetry to the hot nurses is a little difficult sometimes. Because, they get all hot and bothered, and they got patients, and they got to do things, and I got to do things. So I just wanted to drop in and say, things are changing. I'm going to be doing things better, and I expect you to be laughing and supporting me. So, write down in the comments or whatever, tell Amber, hey, you know what, Rocco's all right. We want to see more of Rocco. We want to see some funny things from Rocco. You got a problem with that? Take it up with Rocco. That's me. Or Amber. That's Amber. Talk to her about it, because she knows what's going on. This is just a filler video to say I miss you guys. I'm going to start doing better shit, all right? I'm not apologizing. I don't apologize for nothing. I'm doing the best I can, and you better like it.
Thank you, Rocco. Always look forward to seeing you. And we look forward to seeing you again next week right here on Amber Live. I'm going to be here. Hope you will be too.
Well, summer is here. Got any big plans, Bug? Get rich and famous and buy all the candy. I don't think you can buy all the candy there is. I said all the candy.